This is SportsCenter with Elle Duncan and Kevin Nagandi.
That's right. Together, but not. Hi, hello. Obviously, Kevin Nagandi, not with me here in studio. He is at the Little League World Series. The dead giveaway, of course, is the fact that he is wearing a collared shirt and not a suit and tie. Right, Kevin? Because you're very
Yeah, also,
today.
I'm sweating. It's 90 degrees here in Williamsport.
You're
A
glowing.
beautiful day. I am glowing in many ways, no doubt. Lombardy is beautiful behind me, as you see. It's all quiet now. We are going to be on SportsCenter for the next 90 minutes leading up to tonight's elimination game at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. Jessica Mendoza is standing by to give us some highlights of New Jersey versus Texas, but we start with headlines.
Dictate, but we bring in now our senior NFL insider, Adam Schefter, who's joining us. Adam, we know Bill's not always that forthcoming with the media, so how notable is it when he was asked about that opportunity for Mac Jones? He said, it is.
Well, he's being truthful, Elle. And
A Patriots starting quarterback misses some time, and a young quarterback makes the most of an opportunity. It feels familiar. So we're still up in the air about who's going to start week one for New England. But so Andy Dalton wins the starting job, although did he win? Because he's going to face Aaron Donald in the top-ranked defense from a year ago. Adam, when is the earliest that we might see Fields out there?
listen, the fact of the matter is...
News for Bears is if they're trying to protect Justin Fields from the Rams, well, they're facing the Bengals in week 2. And let's just say their defense, not the Rams. Adam Schefter joining us here on SportsCenter with the latest.
Welcome back to SportsCenter. So good to see you, Elle Duncan. In
Hi.
Bristol, Kevin Nagandi here in Williamsport, as we are going to get you ready for an elimination game at the Little League World Series featuring Oregon and New Hampshire at 7:30 Eastern. Also coming up later on in this segment, we're going to talk about college football and why today was a big deal. But first, Elle, you got more.
I can't wait to hear from Paul Feinbaum. Also, this view is just absolutely remarkable behind you. So, Kevin, as you know, right? Speaking of views, last night, Jameis, the other person looked like a gadget player. Dan Orlovsky.
Little Jordan Humphrey.
Little Jordan
I always want to say
Humphrey.
Little John.
Yeah. NFL analyst and former quarterback Don Orlovsky is here. I love that you went Lil Jon and skipped right over my Jay-Z reference. What stood out to you? Fair to say that you think Jameis cemented the starting
Done.
role, right? Okay. But what stood out to you specifically about the performance that says so?
Yeah, the most impressive thing was Jameis went from gunslinger to marksman. And the second touchdown to Callaway, for me, is the most impressive. So Jameis shows itself, and you're like, I know the answer. And you get the opportunity to communicate it, and then you go and execute it. There's such a rush of energy. And that's the thing that stood out to me with Jameis is he's this gunslinger that became a marksman. Jameis and the work that he's done.
There's a lot of boom or bust with Jameis, but the boom is
awesome.
huge. It's a lot of boom.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about the Jaguar. You know, it's no knock on Travis Etienne, but
Right.
I think after people watched that game, there was a lot more concern than just Travis. What is your level of concern when you think about what they are facing?
It's incredibly high because first it's 3.1 seconds before it left his hands.
Yeah.
The average in the NFL is 2.6. The plays that they're calling are just taking too long. I want quick game. I want ARPs in modern day football nowadays. This can go south quickly.
Insert Cincinnati Bengals. Last night, right? Lawrence pressured on nearly 42% of his dropbacks. That would have been the third highest pressure rate in 36 starts at Clemson. A kind of pressure he's never seen before. Dan Orlovsky, thank you.
Power rankings. Which team is too low in your mind?
I'd say the Denver Broncos. I believe they slotted in at 26, Kev.
Kevin,
didn't say
I
that for
think
you either.
Kevin, I think that he's pandering because he knows that I'm just gonna. You ran a 6'2" 40. Did you use your legs, Dan? Did you crawl? I don't.
Could you imagine being 6'5", 185 pounds with a size 15 shoe as a sophomore in high school? Because that's what I was. So I ran a 6'2", and I'd still beat you.
He still beat you. By the way,
5'1".
I think he picked the Broncos because he's literally like 12 feet away from you,
Yeah.
and he knows that he doesn't want to see Elle Duncan going off. That's my
I
point.
could
She would
throw
try
something
to
at him.
spin
We
it
are
to
in
like
strike.
Georgia Clemson in 2 weeks. Well, how about Georgia playing Clemson in a couple weeks?
Yeah,
In college,
showcase.
he could endorse like a scooter since he can't run. You know, there's no question this has been a summer of historic change in college athletics. It began in late June with a Supreme Court ruling that paved the way for the end of amateurism as we once knew it, because college athletes are now able to profit off their name, image, and likeness. So this week in a 3-part series for Outside the Lines, we're going to examine how athletes and the NCAA have adjusted to this new business model. Dan Murphy takes us through the pivotal moments that became game changers on the college sports landscape. On Wednesday, part 2 of the Outside the Lines series on name, image, and likeness will focus on Pitt quarterback Kenny Pickett and the deals that he has to treat his offensive line and support the local boys and girls club. That's Wednesday on the noon edition of SportsCenter on ESPN. World Series action, the Kid Cast. I have to say, Kevin, like I obviously miss you in studio, but it just feels like all is right when you are there at Williamsport.
Oh, thank you, Elle. It's been fantastic. A dream come true for watching many of these players as well as the broadcasters, part of the Kids Cast. All we got to do is get a suit and tie, and he's ready to go. I'm in danger of losing my job here.
Caleb is already better at highlights than I am. If you give him a golf highlight and he's good at it, then I'm done. I've got zero chance.
She's complimenting you. She thinks you're going to take our job, and when we give you a golf highlight, you could do all the golf highlights. All right, Caleb? All right. Are you excited, by the way, you face Texas tomorrow? Your squad's been fantastic for Nebraska.
Yeah, I'm stoked. It's going to be the coolest thing.
Okay, give me one idea. What's this experience been like for you?
Unbelievable. I mean, it's a dream come true.
Yeah, well, you're living the dream, young man. Enjoy the summer. Thank you for joining us. Well done. Good luck to Hastings, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Elle, rock star right here. Remember his name.
Yeah.
Caleb Reimers.
Well, just, Caleb, I've got a couple of kids. Can you just wait a few years before you come for
Got
my
you
job?
alongside Elle Duncan. Hi, Elle.
Hi, Kevin. Great to see you there. We obviously have a lot here in Bristol as well. We're all over the NFL, the Patriots, an opportunity potentially for Mac Jones with Cam Newton being out after a misunderstanding. We'll get to that. And, of course, some big baseball action between the Yankees and Braves as well, Kev.
So the nightcap, we're going to have an elimination game earlier today.
Kevin, COVID numbers are grim down south, where Louisiana alone reported 139 coronavirus deaths today. That's the highest number of deaths than on any other single day of the pandemic in that state. And now the two biggest football teams in Louisiana, the Saints and LSU, are requiring vaccines or negative tests from fans to attend the games in stadium. The Saints taking the additional step of vaccinating fans outside the Superdome. Michelle Steele has more in tonight's SportsCenter report. They pan out. You see the kids sliding down. It was very well timed. We should do TV. We're into big productions.
I will tell you one thing, Elle. I will not wear a suit and go down that hill again, though. Just once.
I remember you do. I was going to say, do we have to wait till Thursday?
No.
Before you? No? You're not doing it.
I was safe and I was good.
Okay.
Done.
He's safe.